Hi everyone, this is Rhonda with Intuitive Beauty, and today I want to talk to you about doing your makeup for online meetings. So I know that I'm doing a lot more Zoom meetings these days, and I'm assuming you are too. I'm doing them more for work as well as social gatherings. And I wanted to kind of talk about how you want to do your makeup when you have these meetings. Also, how you're going to dress, because you don't want to get all dressed up for a meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing my makeup and then we'll talk. So I'm using my favorite makeup called Mascara Beauty, and it's this beautiful makeup that comes in these customizable tins that are customized for you and your skin coloring and your skin tone. So these are my specific colors that I like, and then I also, this palette that I put together for it, and then I've got like my eyeshadows and illuminators and everything I need in this one palette, so I can literally throw this in my purse and be on the go with a brush and go on about my business. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my makeup, and then I will talk a little bit about what you wanna do for a Zoom call. So I'm gonna start with your outfit. You don't need to go, obviously, do a whole lot to dress up for your Zoom call. I'm literally wearing sweatpants right now, yoga pants, and a tank top, and I threw on a blazer so that it just looks good, and some nice earrings, and you're good. You know, that's the beauty of these online meetings. Right now I'm working on just putting on my contour, which will help create some shadow on my face and give me some cheekbones, which I need. One of the things you want to do when you put on makeup for your Zoom calls is you kind of need to add a little bit more than you normally would. I generally like to have a lighter application, a more natural application, but for online meetings, you kind of want to do a little bit more, just because you're on a screen, most likely your laptop, that is not as best quality as like your phone, for example. So you want to kind of make sure you have a little bit more, you add a little more pop of color. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to my color correcting. So I have a little dark circle, dark skin under my eyes. And so I am going to use the tiniest little bit of this and just tap it under my eye here, just to add a little bit of color. And what this will do is it'll just kind of fade out the dark skin tone there. And then I'll go ahead and add my regular highlight to it. You don't need to use a lot. And this is great for if you have melasma or dark spots or discoloration anywhere or scars. It's kind of nice. You can just add this. And then I'm going to go ahead and let this kind of warm up on my face a little bit. And I'm going to actually go ahead and add my main highlight color, which is your basic foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and place it everywhere. And then I like to kind of let it sit on my skin for a second, for a few extra minutes. And what that does is it actually just warms it up really well on my skin. And then when I go to blend it all up and blend it all in, it will blend really easy. So, okay, so I got it all on, and you notice here I haven't put a whole lot of makeup on. The beauty about this makeup is you don't really need a ton of it on. Where we're gonna really try to add the pop and the color for your Zoom call, I think we have to do it with like your blush. So we're gonna use a little bit of a brighter lip and cheek today. And and we're gonna use a little brighter colors for my eyeshadow. So you wanna add a little extra pop there, and that'll actually make you look like you really got yourself together for the day. So I'm going ahead to blend in my contour. It's warmed up on my face, and I'm just kind of bringing it down my neck to create a little shadow there. Let's see. Okay, so now I've got the main highlight mostly blended in. I'll add a little more blend here in a minute. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blend in the contour. So I'm just kind of blending it up into my hairline a little bit. And the whole point of this is that we're trying to create shadows and bring light into the parts of your face that you want to accentuate. So here, I'm just kind of turning that up a little. I gotta use my regular mirror so I can see you guys. Okay, and now I'm gonna I missed a spot in the blending of my main foundation here, so I'm just gonna blend that all in. And I'm going to use my beauty blender here at the end to make sure that I didn't miss any spots, because I have a tendency to always miss something. Okay. All right, so I've got my main foundation on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little bit of a highlight. So I'm going to use my brightener to just bring more light into the center part of my face. And you don't need to use a whole lot. So you can see here, this is my brightening color here, and I'm just going to barely tap it with this part of my brush. And I'm going to just add a little bit of lightener to the center part of my face. The great thing about this makeup is you're not using a whole lot, so it lasts a really long time. And when you run out of one color, you just replace that one instead of the whole palette. So it's very cost effective, I think. And you could also, I'm bringing that right down the center of my nose here, a little bit right here, and a little bit on my chin. And then I'm just gonna blend it all in. I really like that about this makeup. And if you think about it, our skin tone will change a little bit through different parts of the year. So I'm just blending this in here to bring a little more brightness to the center part of my face. So through summer, I'll probably get a little more tan. I will probably need to use a slightly darker shade of my highlight. So I think that looks good. So I'm leaving the contour less blended because I'm going to add some color there, and I'll blend it more as I go. But you can see here. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my lip and cheek. So for the Zoom meetings, I'm going to go for a little bit brighter of a shade than I normally would. And I'm actually just going to put it on my finger. And I'm going to go ahead and dot it right up my cheekbone here. See that? Maybe just a titch more. Okay. And then I'll just go ahead and use my brush to just very gently blend that in. And the beauty of cream-based makeup is all these colors and all these different types of foundations, I guess you're using, they blend really, really well together. So, the contour and the lip and cheek will blend so beautifully together. Let me make sure I got that right. And I'm going to leave it a little bit brighter for now. I'll blend it out a little more as I go. Okay, so that's about all I'm doing for my face. I'm going to quickly do an eyeshadow. So I've already done my, for time's sake, I've done my eyebrows and I've also done my eyelashes. I put some mascara on. And so I'm just going to start by using, and you can see my pretty palette here. So I've got my favorite colors of eyeshadow in here. So it's really wonderful. So I'm going to use a color called Cupcake. It's kind of a nice, basic color to use as a base for your eyes. And I've already gone ahead and used my highlight color as a primer. I have a lot of brown discoloration on my lids, and so it's always nice to kind of give it a nice clean flat palette to work off of. So I'm just getting this all over the place. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and switch colors to a color called Basic. So it's this really pretty light brown color. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that along my, like the crease of my eye. And so you wanna just start by making little baby circles here and kind of getting it in the spot you want it. And then you can kind of move it over. And you're gonna use a windshield wiper method and just move it along. You can kind of add a little bit more if you like. Again, you want a little extra pop of color when you're doing these Zoom meetings. So you're probably gonna go a little extra than you normally would. And so there's that. I'll do the other side really quick. So baby circles, and then just move it along as a windshield wiper here. There we go. Got that color in. Okay, so I'm gonna use two more colors here just to give myself more of a pop. And so I think I'm gonna go ahead and use this color called Lullaby, which is really pretty. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like a, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just draw a nice little like a V-C shape here right at the edge of my eye. And I'm just gonna get some of that on there. So these colors are very pigmented. So I would always suggest start with a light application and then add more as you want. So I've got that on. I'm going to go ahead and blend it in a minute. I'm actually going to do the other side. What I'm going to do is use up the rest of what's on here, and I'm just going to run it along my lower lid here just a little. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll blend. And so again, you want to just make sure you just do along the edge of your eye. I'm going to give it like a little bit of a smoky look, but we're going to blend it all in so there's no weird harsh lines. Okay, let me just look at my regular mirror, and then we'll use whatever's left over on the inside of the lower lid here. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just blend it in, and you know, again, the baby circles to move it around, and you want to try to go a little bit above your brow bone just so you could see it, and you blend it in really well. And don't worry if you get shadow other places, we will clean that up once we're done. Generally, I sometimes like to do my eyeshadow first, just because then if you get any like pieces that spill or whatever, then parts that kind of dust off on your face, you don't have to worry about it. But the beauty of this cream makeup is everything can be fixed, and you can fix it all. So, okay. There's that. I got that done. So I'm going to do a couple more quick things. So I'm going to go ahead and take my eyeshadow everything brush that I was just using, and I'm going to dip it into this beautiful illuminator called Pearl. And I'm just going to run it along my brow bone here just to give myself a little bit of a shine and shimmer. So when you're staring at the screen, and then you can go ahead and do the same thing and put a little bit on your finger and just run it along your cheekbone. Okay, and you can even do a little bit on your nose and a little bit on your chin to give that pretty brightness. You see that? Can you see how that shimmers? See how I did my hair today? I didn't even do anything to it. I literally pulled it back. Okay, I'm gonna do one more quick color on my eyes. I'm gonna use this color called Mama. It's really light pink, pretty color. And I'm just gonna put it on the inside of my eye to brighten things up. So, use my mirror because you guys, I can't see very well. So all I'm doing is just putting a little bit on the inside of my eye and a little bit on the corner of my eye and a little bit on the inside of my lid here. And then I'll just do a quick little blend, and then we'll be ready to go for our meeting. So that's really it. You don't have to put a ton of time. You could do this in under 15 minutes, throw on a blazer, put some earrings on. You will look so put together, and underneath you're wearing yoga pants and a tank top. It's so wonderful. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick little blend here. Just make sure there's no harsh lines on my eyes. And these brushes are great. You don't have to do a lot of work here. You know, you just let it do its thing. And then you can blend in underneath. And then one last thing, you can take the brush you originally worked with and just do a little bit of a cleanup. So in case you kind of got any dusted off on your cheeks, or sometimes I have a tendency to go a little crazy with the eyeshadow and it ends up getting everywhere. So I am just going to kind of do a little bit of a cleanup there, and look at that, and add a little bit of lips. Okay, and one last thing I'm going to do just to make sure everything is in its right place, I'm going to take my perfector sponge. I've already prepped it by getting it wet and just kind of rinsing it with like a paper towel or a towel just to get the excess water off. And I am just going to dot that around my face and make sure that I got all the excess. Sometimes I have a tendency to put a little more in certain places than I want. And make sure that everything is blended. And I am ready to go, you guys. What do you think? Am I ready for a Zoom meeting? If you want some information on your colors, and I can match you to the colors you that are good for you and get you ready for your Zoom meeting as well. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.